a father, as a husband, to be reunited finally after 101 days. I feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders. You think you're on this beautiful island, but there's nothing beautiful about it when you don't have your family.
An American tourist back home with his family after being held since February in a Turks and Caicos, not prison, but confinement for having spare ammunition in his luggage. An island judge freeing Brian Hagerich after he paid a $6,500 fine. But the fate of 4 other Americans charged for the same crime separately, different incidences, is still unclear, each of them facing up to 12 years in prison. Now, Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin just returned from Turks and Caicos in an effort to help free those Americans, and he joins us now. One of those, Senator, thank you for being with us here. One of those I know, one of your citizens of Oklahoma. So this is it's weird how many instances of this have occurred in a short amount of time, and the way Turks and Caicos is throwing the book at all these Americans.
Right. Well, what happened 2 years ago, they had a high influx of Haitians and Jamaicans coming to the island, and they started having gun violence and gangs shooting each other out on the island, and actually one American got caught up in this. And so they passed a law which actually amended their constitution that basically said that they have a zero gun policy and a zero ammunition policy. The unintended consequences of that law when they started in force in February was right here: Brian's case, Ryan's case, we have Tyler's case, and the other 2 that they had combined. Now, I want you to get this in mind. Combined, they had less than 20 bullets among themselves, among all 5, less than 20. And neither, or not one of them, had any guns with them. It was just ammunition that had fell loose in their bags. And they have a 12-year minimum sentence. And so we didn't know Brian was even there. How I got in touch with Brian was Ryan Watson, the guy from Oklahoma. He started calling, or his family started calling, asking for help. Brian had already been there at that time for about 45 days, and just a wealth of knowledge. And he really walked us through this process. The problem with this is the State Department was zero help. I mean, zero help. And up until a few days before we decided to take a Codell there, did the State Department really actually engage, and the Assistant Secretary got involved. But and mind you, just to reset this too, they didn't have to be charged through the internet, through the national law. There's a thing called the Customs Act, which handles issues just like this. When you take illegal contraband into a country that may be legal in yours, like, for instance, it's legal to have a satellite phone and a two-way radio here in the United States. A lot of countries don't allow that. And so if you try to take it in their country, rather than being charged by national law, you can be charged by the immigration law,
right?
And or Customs Act, and you just get a fine and get sent back home. Well, that's what they could have done here, but they chose not to.
Okay, well, I want to talk about that. By the way, I think it's important you brought up what you brought up first, and I actually just went to Turks and Caicos for spring break this year, and I heard anecdotally what you were talking about. They were worried about the fall of Haiti and how it's fallen into chaos because they've had Haitians with ill intentions wash up on their shores with boats.
Right.
So there is a concern here that led to this from their side of it, but what you're hoping for is rational judgment, not just strict application of the law. And so you're pointing out how they could have been charged, but now you've also had face-to-face interaction with Haitian authorities. Right. Are you getting that? Do you get sort of like, yeah, this wasn't the spirit or the intention of the law, so let's have good judgment here?
You know, I was hoping the conversation would go that way, but it didn't. And this is my fear. Unless they change this law, I would still be very concerned about any American traveling over there and being accidentally caught up this. Mind you, the young lady from Florida who's a grandmother, she had simply just taken a bag out of her closet. She had no idea ammunition had even been in there. And she packed it and went on a Mother's Day trip with her mother that her daughter had given her, and she was leaving the country, and now she's facing 12 years because there was 2 9mm round bullets that had slid down the side of the bag, and she had no idea. In fact, the Turks and Caicos government, they had to literally take the bag apart to try to find it. And then you have Tyler's case. He got off of a cruise ship, grabbed a day bag, tried to get back on the ship, and he also had 2 bullets in his bag. So these are very accidental cases that the Customs Act would apply 100% here if they would just simply allow it to apply, but they won't. So it concerns me about moving forward. Super glad Brian is back. We talked to him a couple times yesterday. Man, that guy is the nicest dude on the face of the earth. and just a salty earth individual that I hope you guys have him on the show and he can kind of explain to you what happened while he was there.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate what you're attempting to do, how you're offering help. We do as well. I mean, Turks and Caicos, they can't want this. They need the tourism from America. So this is not good publicity for Turks and Caicos. I got to run real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what we were trying to tell them, too, is that 62% of your economy is tourism and 90% comes from the United States. 70% of your imports come from the United States. We like our relationship and want to keep the relationship.
Right.
Yeah, and he was saying that we got to look out for our islanders. Totally understand that. We got to look out for our constituents, too. And so if we can't have a common ground that's safe for both people that we feel like is safe, then we have to start issuing a do not travel from the United States. But this judgment does move us a state forward, but they need to also look and see what caused this. Because since February, they've arrested one American every 3 weeks since they started enforcing this law.
I got to leave it right there, Senator. But thank you so much for jumping on with us this morning. Senator Markwayne Mullin. All right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.